Hey, how you doing? My name is Curtis Daniel III. If you're from the patch, then you know me as Freddie. Um, my relationship with Martin started at 7 years old, man. Believe it or not, Martin was my first coach for any organized sports. He was my T-ball coach, and he probably went on to coach me about four or maybe five other times. One thing I know about when I played on Martin's team is we always came in first place. And we always looked good because he wasn't down with them park issued uniforms. He was going to get the real pinstripe stuff. I think he taught us about what a real baseball hat was like. If it ain't green underneath the visor, that ain't a real hat. He was real passionate about the game. Um, I've been playing sports, baseball, basketball, and football since 7 years old. So I've had a number of coaches. Had the opportunity to go to Michigan State on a full football scholarship. Had some great coaches there. But as an athlete, you as you going through your career, whether it's little league or professional or college, at some point you're gonna cross somebody and that guy is your coach. For me, Martin was my coach. Um, that was my coach, man. I mean, he gave it to me. Gave it to me early. He held us accountable. He coached us hard. Uh, he physically challenged us. He cussed us out. He threw bats at us. He kicked me in the back of the heel. He made us run around the park, man, when we was so little. And the lesson learned to that for me was some people might have thought it was bad, but I just looked at it like, man, if you work hard and you discipline and you dedicate yourself to something and everybody move in one direction, you'll always come out on top. And those lessons that he gave me at 7 years old, they still roll with me today. When I got to Michigan State, I had a hard-ass coach, George Perlis. He was responsible for coming up with the steel curtain. He coached Mean Joe Green, won about 4 Super Bowl rings. He was a hard-ass, cuss you out, yell at you, all kind of stuff. And they used to get mad at me because when he was cussing, I just used to smile. It didn't bother me because, man, I grew up with that type of coaching. And, so yeah, I think Martin, when he started coaching us, he probably been as an early teenager, like 16 or 17. I'm coaching kids now, but I'm 48, so I just started coaching when I was 47. And I always had utmost respect for people who go back to their local parks and coach and volunteer on their own time. And the reason why I have so much respect for them is because I know what type of impact they can have on the kids because Martin had that impact on me. The other day, I was just thinking about what I was doing. I got a little softball team and the park issues uniforms. And of course, I'm ordering my own uniforms because the girls got to look good. I've already started working on my practice schedule because I learned that from him. Life went on. We stopped playing at Dolphin Park. We went on to play football at Banning. And like I said, I got a scholarship at Michigan State. And then I decided to get married when I was about 35. And, I was conscious about who I wanted to be at that special day and definitely had Martin on the list. Whether he was going to come or not, he meant that much to me that I was going to invite him. So I was pleasantly surprised when he came to Atlanta and witnessed my first wedding. We had a ball that night. I think I still got some of the pictures where he had that cigar in his mouth and we was throwing up shots. Great man. I didn't know all the stuff that Martin was going through with his ailments and illnesses. But a couple of years ago, when I had my daughter and, I lost my wife. So I kind of started living by that, give people their roses while they still here. And I started a series kind of like on YouTube where I was calling people that were impactful to my life. And if I'm thinking correctly, I think Martin was my first call. Called Martin, talked to him about 45, 50 minutes on the phone. And I was sure to let him know what type of impact he had on me. And I thanked him for what he did and what he contributed to my life. Not knowing that I wouldn't see Martin again. You know what I mean? I was supposed to come home that Christmas and my daughter got pneumonia, so we didn't make it back to LA. So I hadn't seen Martin in quite a while. When I got the news that he was in the hospital, it kind of shook me up. You know, unfortunately, I don't pray a lot, but me and my daughter prayed for Martin and all of you, his family, that night, hoping that he would recover. I had planned on being there for the ceremony, but man, them plane tickets was like $2,700 and just couldn't make it. So I'm honored that Frank asked me to do this video. And, you know, if his kids are watching this video, man, just know that your dad raised more kids than just y'all. We've all grown up to be men, and I don't have any doubt that, you know, athletically, one of the most successful people that came out of that park was Bob Whitfield. And Bob grew up playing for Martin as well. And, you know, when we talked, I told Martin he should feel proud, man, because he raised some good boys, and we carried those lessons that he taught us throughout our life. And I'm gonna miss him, you know what I mean? I'm sorry that he passed. But rest assured that he had an impact on people, and we won't forget him. And thanks for asking me to make this video. It means a lot to me. And like I said, that one right there, that was my coach. I love Martin, and I'm gonna miss him. And I hope the ceremonies were nice. And we'll see you guys. And Frank, thanks for looking out for my family, man, for my nieces and my nephews. I always feel good knowing that, you know, they had somebody like you lurking around, making sure they were straight.